All right, welcome everybody to the Five Kings Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm Tanner Marr. I'm joined tonight by another of our founding members on Five Kings Motorsport. I'm in here with Brandon Medler. Brandon Medler, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Tanner?
I'm doing good, brother. So normally we don't broadcast together. Normally we race together, and started out racing in this series. I mean, we were some of the most original members in the whole Crooked Line Racing series, and before you knew it, we all became friends. Five of us became friends, and started texting each other, just kind of cutting up with each other. We put a name on it, and we came up with Five Kings Motorsports, and it's grown into something much bigger. But all that right now is not important. What's important is we're here tonight with the Crooked Line Racing Tuesday Night Tour Modified Series. It's a fixed setup series, so all our drivers out here tonight, they will be racing in the same setup. They can change the steering ratio, steering offset, and brake bias, but other than that, they're all playing with the same deck of cards basically. So nobody has an advantage over the next guy except for talent. So that's what I love about these fixed races, Brandon. The talent and the cream always seems to rise to the top, and we see that each and every week, either on here at Rebels Racing Network, our normal broadcaster. So tonight we're actually in qualifying right now. We got Brad Ringer. He's currently sitting on the pole. Christian Pittman. He's another strong contender. He's sitting second right now. Thomas Dunn is sitting third. There's a lot of quality drivers out here. It's one thing I love about the Tuesday night series is that if you're a tenth off in qualifying here on Tuesday nights, that's the difference between starting first in a normal league or starting 12th to 13th. Wouldn't you say so?
I definitely agree. The track position here, especially Lucas Oil's, where it's really tough track to pass at. Your qualifying spot's going to be pretty much your tell-off for the rest of the race. If you're starting in the back, you're going to have a much harder time getting to the front. But if you're starting in the front, you're already up there. You don't have to worry about burning your tires up trying to pass somebody on the low side because, as we both know, the high and preferred line at Lucas Oil Raceway Park is definitely the high line. So I think qualifying and getting that track position early on is going to be very important. Running 100 to 125 laps like we do in our Tuesday night tour modified series. Usually we run pretty clean for the first half of the race, but then as soon as the second half gets along, we start taking pit stops. Things get more antsy. But looking at the times right now, it looks like a lot of the people's times, especially the top seven, are within 5/100ths of a second. So it looks like we have some pretty fast guys here. Pretty competitive field, so it should be interesting how to see this race unfolds.
Oh, it always is. And yeah, speaking about that high line and riding the wall here, I get nervous when we come to these type of tracks. Whether I'm up in the booth, I'm up in race control, or even I'm out on the track, because it seems like you make one mistake, you just a little bit of a misjudgment, and before you know it, you're up in the wall. And we know with these tour modified cars, yes, they have roll bars around them. Yes, they can be like tanks, but if you start hitting on that suspension or them steering arms or anything, you damage them, and you're going to be in for a long race fighting that steering wheel.
Yeah, if you got that 100% right. And like we've seen in some past races this season, uh, one of the catches about being on a sim is that network connection. So not everybody's in the same place. Obviously, some people are on the East Coast of the United States, some people are on the West Coast, some people are up in Canada. Who knows? So that network connection could sometimes be great for connecting with people on a sim, and it can sometimes be bad when we have net code and things like that, where people's connection doesn't exactly respond the same, and there might be some unforeseen contact that shouldn't be happening, some that should be happening. But that's part of the game, being on the sim on iRacing. Like I said, it has its pluses, but it definitely has its minuses as well. So, and sometimes with that, unintentional contact can bring suspension damage, like you said, and that can be something that could take somebody out of this race just as quickly as they got in. So, that's something we'll have to look at for the rest of this race.
Absolutely, we've seen throughout the weeks that netcode can be pretty prevalent in these cars, and if you hear us mention netcode tonight, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that the network between the two drivers. iRacing may have thought a driver was there when he actually wasn't there, and so on and so forth. And it don't happen a whole lot, but it happens more than what we ever wanted to happen, and that's never. I mean, we want it to never happen, but it's not perfect. We're all racing in our living rooms in our house, and that's gonna be a con that comes with a lot of the pros on iRacing. But right now we got I want to throw it over to we got Jason Day. I'm gonna bring him up into the booth and we'll give him an interview and let him shout out his sponsor. He's currently sitting with the quick time at a 21,509. He's going to be starting pole. And another thing, Brandon, I want to hit on before we start the interviews. Mr. Levi Allen. He's currently in the 41 machine. Something we do over here at Crooked Line Racing. We do it on Monday nights in the Super Lates and Tuesday nights in the Tour Mod Series. Is the winner of the previous race. It's great to win that race, but next week where are you starting at, Brandon?
Oh, Tanner, I don't know if Levi wants to bring it up, but as for our rule in our Tuesday night series, the previous winners will be starting at the rear. So right as soon as they grid, they'll all be given an EOL, just something to make it a little bit more interesting with the fast guys in the rear, like I talked about earlier. That fast winner from the previous week, it'd be starting at the rear. That's gonna be interesting.
You're exactly right. I mean, it always is. It adds a little bit. Race. There's a reason why that guy won a race before. So it's obvious they have speed. Now, granted, everybody in here has speed. There's a lot of fast guys in here, but notch. And I apologize. Oh, sorry. I have Scotty and all them talking loud in my ear. It was hard to concentrate.
No, I was just about to say that myself. I had to turn them down off the broadcast a little bit, but that's part of the live broadcast. I work in broadcast for cars to races that we just recorded a broadcast for MAV TV that's going to be on this summer, and it's a live broadcast, so we'll have our kinks here and there, but that's part of being live and part of the excitement. So as you know, anybody that's going to a live racetrack in real life, there's not going to be a perfect night of racing. You're going to have blunders here and there. You're going to have wrecks, obviously, as part of the racing experience, but um, you know live broadcasts are fun. You don't want to watch a tape delayed broadcast and already know who won and everything like that. So it's part of the excitement. So that's kind of what we're doing here tonight. First time with live broadcast. I think Tanner's working on bringing some drivers in. We're going to talk to them real quick and see what their thoughts are before this race.
Absolutely. So with this being our first broadcast, we're kind of winging it right now. We got only about a minute and a half left, but Mr. Brad Ringer in the 76 machine, I see that you were able to put it. You'll be starting P2 on the grid. How you like your chances coming into tonight?
Normally I'd say pretty good here, but tricky track, tricky setup tonight, so should be fun.
If you had to put your finger on one thing, what do you think the one key to success is tonight? Before I send you back to your race team.
Tires and be very, very easy on the throttle. As soon as you get back to power, the car wants to come around tonight.
Right on, brother. I hear you, Brad. Normally I let you shout sponsors and stuff like that. We have a minute left, so I tell you what, I'll make you a deal. You finish in the top three, I'll let you thank every sponsor you want to at the end of the race. All right.
I got to survive first, but good deal.
Good luck, buddy. Mr. Maple Leaf Muscle, Five Kings member himself. You're going to come well accustomed to this name, Jason Day. How you doing tonight, brother?
Not too bad.
I'd say you're doing pretty good, Mr. 21509, starting on the pole. I'll ask you what I asked Brad right there. What do you think your keys are for tonight to be successful?
Fireware and the timing the pit stop properly, because tires are huge here, but track position is even more important. So I don't know if staying out would benefit you, but if you're leading and everybody goes in, you're done.
All right, you're just kind of a sitting duck in that position that you're in. Well, Jason, I'm sorry that we didn't have more time for you. I'm glad we got to hear your sweet voice over the interview broadcast. And like I told Brad, I promise you at the end of the race, you finish in the top three. I'll be here waiting on you, brother. All right, Brennan. Well, we stretched it out as long as we could. I think these boys are they're ready to grid up and they're ready to get some action going on at this short track. It's a famous short track. I wish Xfinity and shoot, man, even NASCAR. I wish they'd come back to these tracks.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of going to this track several times, especially the past few years. They're actually bringing a lot of racing back to this track originally for a few years before, even COVID. In 2017 and 2018, they had maybe one or two races at this track per year. Now they're bringing that back, open wheel sprints and midgets for the first time to the .68 mile track over in Indianapolis. It's actually west of Indianapolis, over in Claremont, Indiana. But like I mentioned, I've been here plenty of times. I lived in Indiana my whole life until I moved down here to North Carolina just this past July. So I've been here plenty of times. And yeah, like you said, I think some bush races, which is what we called it when they were actually rented the track, but some Xfinity races and some truck races would be really beneficial to the Indiana or Indianapolis Motor Speedway weekend because now they're at the road course. So I don't see any reason why they can't. There's obviously some upgrades that need to be done to the track from how it's been deteriorated over the years since they, had the NASCAR series there in the early 2000s. But hopefully we'll see. Get some new, safer barriers, some more amenities for the fans and everything like that, and we'll see what happens with that.
You're right, but tonight they're at Lucas Oil, like you said, just outside of Indianapolis. They got a track temperature right now, Brandon, and it's currently sitting at 76 degrees. So there's going to be some grip in the track. We heard drivers, they talked about it, the setup being a little loose, and they're worried about tire wear. But one thing is, there's going to be grip in the track, and I want to go over the grid right now, just before they start rolling out. Let's see here. Starting on the inside row, we actually got Jason Day, a 5-King member himself. Put it on the pole tonight, Brandon, with a 21.509. Starting to his outside, it's going to be Brad Ringer in that 76 machine. Second row on the inside, that's Christian Pittman in the 8 machine. Starting fourth on the outside, that's Tommy Dunn, or Thomas R. Dunn, as it is in the sim. Then taking up at fifth spot tonight, we have Ken Zeems in the 90 machine. And then starting sixth, that's going to be a driver to watch right here. He's currently in the 14 machine, but on the side of his Tyler Catalano. I'm sure if you're a fan of any type of real-life modified racing, the Catalano family, the Catalano name, it holds a lot of weight in real-life racing. And there's a reason for that. Super fast guy. We talked about Levi Allen. Even though he qualified P8, he'll actually be starting in the back because he won last week. So congratulations to Levi. But it's a bummer, too, if you all look at it in the whole grand scheme of things. Mr. Jimmy Weaver, he'll be starting P9 in the 46 machine. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Brad Carpenter in the 31 machine. Then going to P11 with a 21.894, that's Matt Sicardo. That's another fast driver. I was actually really shocked to see him start all the way back in P11, but I have a feeling he's a driver to keep your eyes on tonight. P12 will be AJ Warren in the 17 machine. That's a good looking car. 29 will be Frank Barber. He's starting P13th. And then I also know that Keith Mack in the 55 machine, he did not get a qualifying lap down, and he's starting very last on the grid as we're about to go green flag racing here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
Yeah, it should be a good one, Tanner. I'm really excited about this race because, like I said, I've been here plenty of times. So this is one of the few tracks I've been to, or I've actually been to a real life
and
race.
Jason Day actually gets a decent launch, not a great launch. You want to be able to clear that guy on the top side because here at Lucas Oil, like we hit on, they're going to be running that wall. That's where you're going to be fast at tonight. As you see Christian Pittman, he's trying to actually feast on the 4 machine on his outside, but I'm not sure he's able to make that pass stick right now this early in the race, Brenna.
Yeah, like I told you before, early in this race, people, drivers especially, will hopefully try to take it easy for the first 50 laps at least until our competition caution, which should happen lap 60. And that'll shake things up definitely for a bit. But like you see here, most people are already single file throughout the field.
Yeah, I think it's best, like what we saw with NASCAR this previous week, just kind of get up out of the wall, ride, click off some laps like you hit on. Competition caution coming at lap 60, that's going to shake things up. Do you take tires? Do you take fuel? We heard guys missing tire wear tonight. Is that high lane? Is it saving tires? Is it using more tires? That's stuff we're going to have to watch and keep an eye out for as this race progresses.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said before, one of the things about Lucas Oil is the high line is the fast line. Usually at most tracks where, low banking, high banking, no matter what it is, usually the low line or the middle line at least is the fast line. But here at Lucas Oil, where you have a pretty flat track and it's pretty big for a short track in that sense. As you see, Christian Pittman right now is taking the very, very high line. Looks like Brad Ringer is making a run for second.
There's some single file racing going on, but you see Tyler Catalano in that 64 machine, the black and blue. It reminds me of BAM racing videos every time I see that. It's just like your paint schemes. And normally when y'all race together on the track, it's actually hard to tell y'all apart, but he's actually looking to the bottom of...
Looks like Jimmy Weaver.
Jimmy Weaver. Brandon, I know this ain't very professional, but your screen is black on Discord. There we go. But yeah, you're going to see drivers try to be patient tonight. There's no reason to push the issue. 125 laps, that's not a super long race, but it's a long enough race to get into a rhythm and just click off laps.
Yeah, 125 laps isn't really that bad at all, especially at short track. Or some of our other series where we visit Rockingham or Phoenix, that's a little bit different. But 125 laps, Lucas Oil, it's about a 0.68 mile oval, not that bad at all, just over half a mile. So it'd be interesting to see. When those moves are starting to be made, it looks like Tyler's looking on the inside of it. Looks like Ken Zeems right now.
I've been noticing Tyler. Tyler Catalano, he actually started. Well, he started where he's at, P7. He lost the position to Jimmy Weaver, but then he was able to actually get it back. But that's a product of Jimmy Weaver actually started on the outside, whereas Tyler Catalano in the 64 machine, he started on the inside, and that allowed Jimmy Weaver to actually clear him. And, I mean, we don't know how many restarts we're going to get tonight. We have one scheduled scripted caution. So, I mean, when it comes to these restarts, you got to fight for every position you can. Whether you're on a low line, high line, it don't matter. You got to try to get every position you can.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Like I talked about before this race started, track position is going to be key here, where it's really, really hard to pass, especially when your tires get more worn and you get less grip in those tires. So usually, like I said before, single file pretty early on is going to be key because you're going to be saving those tires. Like I see Zach Murphy here, he goes in and out every single week, and he races. He races hard from green to checkered. He doesn't wait around and fiddle dowdy with everybody else, but we'll try to see if we can get around Christian Pittman here. Looks like Christian's trying to hold him off the best he can.
Brandon, I love that too. There's a lot of people that don't like that attitude. They don't like the go, go, go attitude. I love it. I love calling the action with Zach Murphy that he brings to the table every single week. He's going all out. It don't matter if his tires are 80 laps old or 800 laps old. He's trying to get the most out of that car, no matter what lap it is. And I applaud him for that. I really do. It don't make a lot of friends on these short tracks, as we know. Him and Jason Day, they've had a couple run-ins with each other. I think they've kind of worked it out now. We shall see if that 29 machine, if he's able to get around to 8, I'd be watching that mirror if I'm Jason Day, because Zach Murphy's coming.
Absolutely. If I'm Jason Day's teammate right now as a Five Kings Motorsports member, I'm kind of envying that. But from a fan's point of view, that's freaking awesome. I'm talking about rivalries on the racetrack are kind of what makes racing interesting. As Zach Murphy actually looks to the inside of Christian Pittman here. Those kind of rivalries, especially on the sim, it doesn't matter. Everybody's racing for the same spot, just like it is real racing. So the competitive, it brings out of people, it makes the broadcast that much better.
You're exactly right. I mean, this isn't some like fabricated storyline either. These drivers have gotten into each other every time they get around each other. It seems like, Brandon, like it happened at Oxford, happened at Phoenix, and I'm just wondering when's the next time it's going to happen. And I mean, if that happens too much between the same drivers over and over and over, maybe not hatred, that may be a little bit too far, but a competitiveness comes out, and it's definitely out now.
Oh yeah, we're only 15 laps of 125 in this race, and Zach's already tried looking into the inside of Christian Pittman 2 or 3 times, but as you see, Christian Pittman's been able to hold him off every single time. And that's kind of like what I said. The high line's the fast line here, so trying to get a pass on the inside is going to wear those tires out. And if you're wearing your tires out at lap 15 of 125, you're going to be in for a long race, Tanner.
You're exactly right. I think what we're seeing with Zach Murphy and the 8-car Christian Pittman, I think the inside lane on exit, you can kind of cut a little bit of time off the track or off your lap per se. But that outside lane, it gains so much momentum because you're able to get into the throttle. You're able to get into the throttle harder where you're not cutting that wheel so hard. So it's just allowing Christian Pittman to carry so much momentum in that 8 machine off these corners.
Yep, you're exactly right. It's kind of like a dirt track. Dirt track's all about momentum, and keeping that momentum is going to result in more faster lap times over and over and over again and be consistent. Like you said, you might be able to cut down the corner for one lap and get around a guy, but after that, you're going to have to get the momentum back because you're not going to have that highest speeds coming off the corner. So we'll see what game they play here. It's going to be interesting to see what strategies they use towards the end of the race compared to now.
I want to note on Jason Day, he got about a 0.7 of a second, almost 0.7 of a second gap over Brad Ringer. He's showing it's a 76 machine. The side of his car says number 4, so we'll call it number 4 tonight. But Brad Ringer's actually brought that into 0.4, so Jason Day is going to have his mirror full with a white and black car coming up on him pretty quick, it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but Christian Pittman actually hit the wall coming across the line and got into Zach Murphy there, which pushed back Zach Murphy to the inside. And now Zach Murphy's sitting behind Tommy Dunn and Ken Zeems, trying to make his way back up to Christian Pittman, see if he can put a move on there. Looks like things are getting hairy at this point.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was giving Ken Zeems much room right then. He was right on his back bumper. I can promise you, Zach Murphy, he's a hothead. He's just like me when it comes to the racing on these tracks. If a mistake like that happens, he knows Christian didn't do it on purpose, but he's still mad about it, and that's because he's a competitor and he wants to get up there. He wants to win, so he wants to get back to that spot at least. And really and truly, he wants to get in front of Christian Pittman after that.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see how much damage either Christian Pittman or Zach Murphy has. Because, like I said, Christian Pittman got two of his right side tires off of the ground when he went there. And now it looks like Tyler Catalano is trying to look inside Zach Murphy. But Zach Murphy's on the high line. He's got a bunch more speed coming off the corner. He's going to hold that spot.
I'm interested to see as these tires start to wear, as we get closer and closer to that competition caution at lap 60. I'm interested to see if these guys are going to start moving down or if they're going to stay up by the wall. I think they're going to stay up by the wall, but I'm noticing more and more drivers are actually starting to cut down to. There's like a second seam on the track. It's just a black line, but it's almost like they're straddling that. They're following that in the corners now.
Yeah, we got a little bit of follow the leader here. And like I said before, in a fixed races, strategy doesn't seem like it'll have that much of an effect. But like you said, we'll see how much that low line gets used up because as a low line, like Ken Zeems looks right here, that lower line you take wears your tires more and more and more. So after the competition caution, we'll have to see if people look low early because kind of my mentality sometimes is if you have the tires, you might as well use them. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Even in a fixed setup race, we'll have that little bit of a strategy in that point.
You're exactly right, and I'll be completely honest. I was not a fan of fixed setup racing until we started this series over at Crooked Line. I mean, peek behind the curtain, it was my decision if we went open or fixed, and I got talked into going fixed. And I'll be honest, I love this now. I love fixed racing. I think it's a driver's game. It's a strategy game. You got to be careful because everybody's so competitive, and then you put in the drivers that we have in this series tonight, and it ups the ante even more. It's insane how competitive and how close all these drivers are in qualifying pace, race pace, and competitiveness and everything.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I haven't been fond of fixed setups much either, but the more we've been getting used to and everything like that, moving on from open setup races, I've had fun with it. Sometimes it's hit or miss with the setup when you're not that knowledgeable. Some people have setups built for them. Some people set up setups themselves, and they're really good at it, and they outperform people just for the setup. So I think, like you said before, fixed racing puts everybody on that level playing field. It leads to racing like this, where it's really, really close for the whole race, and there's not one guy, 15 seconds or half a lap in front of the guy in second. We'll have much closer racing like we have right now.
And since we're on topic about the setup tonight, Trevor Edwards, he's actually the builder for McConey Setup Shop, and if you're ever struggling in official races and league races that are open setups and you need setups, I mean, McConey Setup Shop, that's your one-stop shop for oval, asphalt road, dirt oval. And you can even use promo code 5Kings. That's going to get you 10% off your purchase right there. Don't matter if you buy one setup or 25 setups. You're going to get 10% off your entire purchase at McConey Setup Shop with promo code 5Kings.
You're exactly right. McConey Setup Shop is definitely what I've been using for the longest time. Ever since I started purchasing setups when I first got on the service. Like I said before, I have no idea what I'm doing. So when I'm going to look for setups, I know my man Jeff McConey is going to make the best. He hires people that make the best setups. And like he says in his promo videos and everything like that, to be the best, you have to race the best. And you have to have the best setups and all that kind of stuff. So McConey Setup Shop, like Tanner says, definitely the best one in our opinion. And that's not just because we're affiliated with them or we have Trevor Evers building our setups, but they generally are the best setups for dirt, asphalt, whatever you're looking for. They're just straight up awesome.
While we were talking about setups, we actually had Brad Ringer in the 4 machine make a clean pass on Jason Day. I'm not sure if Jason Day just pulled down and said, okay, we got a competition caution coming, I'll let you go wear your stuff out. I'm not sure. But I want to hit on the setup talk one more time. We, as 5 Kings Motorsports, we were signed with another setup shop. All it took was Jeff McConey saying, what will it take to have McConey put on your cars? And we broke that relationship with the rival setup shop. Not because we're bad businessmen, but because we believe in Jeff so much that it felt right. And it's felt right, and I'm glad we did it. As we see now, Jason Day in that 52 machine. He's the Maple Leaf Muscle. He's from Canada. Brandon, when I look at that car, you know what I think of? I think of maple syrup. I don't know why. I don't know if MF Racing Designs, if he did that on purpose over Michael Falk Racing. Michael Falk Racing Designs, MF Racing Designs, like I said. But, man, I see that 52 machine, and I think maple syrup.
Well, I'll tell you what, it does kind of look like it. And I'll give credit to MF Racing Designs. He builds a lot of our paint schemes, as you've seen through previous broadcasts and everything like that. And as we look through all the rest of the designs in this race, I'm pretty sure Jason Day has probably one of the best in his field for sure.
I mean, without a doubt, we might be biased in that, but I mean, the proof's in the pudding, as they say, or the proof's in the maple syrup, we'll say. But you see, even though Brad Ringer was able to take at the number one spot, top dog spot, Jason Day has not let him get too far out of his sight. And normally, you see a pass like that, it looked like it was hard to tell if Jason Day just kind of rode over and let him by, or if Brad Ringer just drove it in there. But either way, Brad Ringer now has the lead, and he's going to try to keep it for these next 25 or so laps.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. It looked like Jason Day, he saw Brad Ringer there and wasn't going to fight it. Like we've talked about before, saving your tires is going to be really important in this race, trying to make moves later on in the race, because the people that have the most tire are probably going to pass the people with less tire pretty easily towards the end especially. But so it looks like Jason Day is just kind of following Brad Ringer right now. Like you said, he's not getting too far away, just kind of racing behind him. And me and you are both racers. I think we'll both agree sometimes that getting behind people, you start running faster, it starts getting easy to race, to be honest.
I mention it almost every week to Zach, Brandon, that I feel more comfortable following somebody than I do leading somebody. If you follow somebody, you got almost like a gauge. You know when you need to get on the brakes. You're not using up your equipment nearly as much. You're just matching their pace. And when you're leading, it's just go, go, go. It's so hard to conserve your equipment when you're leading. But somebody I want to hit on, Levi Allen in that 41 machine. He was last week's winner. We gave him an EOL. I think Levi's kind of struggling as we see Jason Day's going to look to the inside of the 4 machine. That might be, he's going to clear that machine. It's going to be a slide job, Dale Earnhardt Jr. style on asphalt. You know, old Dale Jr. would be happy right there calling that one.
Oh, yeah, you would. You said go, 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 and I think Jason Day kind of heard you through the wavelengths. Because as soon as you said that, Jason Day made that pass for the lead. He actually looked low and got that run coming off of 4 on Brad Ringer, and Brad Ringer, I don't know if he necessarily let him go, but he definitely wasn't too aggressive with that pass. Actually let Christian Pittman and Tommy Dunn catch up to them, and they're only less than a second behind them now, so it should be kind of interesting coming to 20 laps to go to the competition.
Yeah, I think Christian Pittman, Tommy Dunn, Ken Zeems, that little group right there, what they want to see out their front windshield, they want to see them 2 leaders. They want to see them start racing, because if they start racing side by side, they're not turning the fastest laps possible for them. Once they get side by side like that, they got to be careful not to run over each other. And what that's going to allow Christian Pittman to do is actually just reel them in. And if Christian reels them in, then Tommy Dunn and Ken Zeems also going to reel them in.
Yeah, but just like a super speedway, when you're side by side, you're going to be lagging behind, way behind people that are running single file and bump drafting and everything like that. Now, we're not bump to drafting at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, but we are single file now. And as you see, Jason Day and Brad Ringer are starting to pull away a little bit. They actually gained about 0.7 of a second in just 2 or 3 laps. Just because they got single file and stopped battling. Looks like Christian Pittman, Tommy Dunn, and Ken Zeems are in a pretty good battle right now. Lap 42, 125. What do you think?
I think right now, and it may be crazy to say this, but I still think my driver to watch is Zach Murphy in that 29 machine coming off the competition caution. You hit on it all night before we actually went green here, talking about track position. As it actually looks like Catalano is going to make the pass on Zach Murphy right there.
Yeah.
Kind of was off my screen, but they're side-by-side racing right now. That's going to allow Ken Zeems and them to kind of check out even further more.
I was just about to say, look at Tyler Wheel, that thing down the front stretch.
To the wall, and then heavy contact with him in the 29. It was good driving by both drivers not to actually wreck it.
Yeah, I think if Tyler would have had a straight line down the front stretch, he would have had him. Because like I said before, coming off that top line, you have a lot more momentum on that guy on the second line, on the bottom line. So Zach Murphy will be able to keep it off, though. We'll have to move up here and see what Christian Pittman and Tommy Dunn are up to. Christian Pittman's been scraping that front stretch wall pretty much all race. We'll have to see if that leads to anything as far as suspension damage or Nerf bar damage or anything like that. But Christian's still running in third. He's been there all race.
Yeah, he's just, I know talking with Christian outside of the races that he loves this series. He absolutely, I think this is his favorite series to run because he talks about it all the time. And that's a good thing. That means drivers come out here, they have fun. They don't matter if it's 12 people racing or 22 people racing. They enjoy coming out here, and we love hearing that as race directors, as admins, or whatever. But Christian Pittman, I mean, he had a few rough races to start the season out. And as you know, Brandon, the winner of this series, the champion, at the end of the season, gets a free game or 2 from Butt Kicker. That's almost $200 worth of sim racing equipment. And basically, what it is, when I explain it to people, it's force feedback for your butt. I mean, pure and simple. It's just force feedback for your butt. So, long story short, Christian Pittman, he's just trying to get solid runs, and a solid run equals great points nights, and you got to have that if you put yourself in a hole after the first 2 or 3 races of a season.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Especially when fields are only 13, 14, 15 people. Getting that track position up at top will get you a whole lot better point standings at the end of the year than people that are running 10th, 11th, and 12th every single week. But like you said, Christian Pittman's been running towards the top, towards the front, week in and week out. But he's had a couple of unlucky things here and there with gas mileage, or a few mistakes, or getting somebody else, or someone else getting into him. It really just depends. But like I said before, he's been in third literally the whole race, and he hasn't moved from there. He's still trying to fight Tommy Dunn off now. Tommy Dunn's a really, really smart racer. I like that kid a lot. He's very, very respectful towards other people. I think we had last week or a few weeks ago at Sobo when Tommy Dunn was right on Christian's bumper, and Tommy Dunn pretty much said straight up to him, "I'm not trying to pass you, Christian. I'm just trying to finish right here in second." So I think Tommy Dunn's actually pretty happy with fourth right now. Like I said before, track position is going to be key in this race, and we're about 10 laps to go until the competition yellow. What you got?
And think of it like this: if he's thinking bigger picture, once we get back to that competition caution, if the field don't get shook up at the top half of the field, Tommy Dunn will be rolling off fourth. And what's that mean? That means he's going to be on the high side. So if I'm Tommy Dunn, I'm just trying to bide my time and hope I stay where I'm at right now when the competition caution comes out and we go back green flag racing. So I'm on the high side.
Yep, you got a really good point. But one thing I got to ask you here is, do you think you should be kind of conserving right now? Do you think Christian should try to conserve a little bit and let Tommy Dunn buy in so he does get that outside? Or do you think you just kind of hold your position here and just see how pit stops unfold?
It's tough. And me myself, I just got to go. I can't try to think big picture like that, because if I do, I end up psyching myself out and I end up just ruining my own chances. I kind of did it last night at Martinsville. So you just got to go. Now, when this competition caution comes out, I'll go back to you. Do you think these top 5 drivers, are they taking tires?
I was just about to ask you that because that's kind of a good question.
You have to, don't you? You almost have to.
Yeah, you almost have to. We are at a nighttime race, and track temp's a little bit cooler than it would be in a hot race, obviously. But I think it's gonna be kind of interesting to see. I think Jason Day and especially Brad Ringer have been running that top line. 95% of the race, but some of the guys like Christian Pittman or Tommy Dunn, Ken Zeems, especially Zach Murphy, they've been running the bottom line trying to make moves. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see. I think Jason Day's probably communicating with Christian Pittman here because they're two obvious teammates. And I think if we see Jason Day go in, we'll see Christian Pittman go in. If we don't see Jason Day go in, we'll see what Christian does. But Jason Day and Brad Ringer have been keeping that high line, being conservative. While we see Christian Pittman and Tommy Dunn are still running here, and we're only 5 laps to go until the competition caution.
I think the way it sits right now, Jason Day, he has them covered. On the tires that they're on right now, he has them covered. But if he goes in and he don't take his tires, but the rest of the field does, Jason Day's a sitting duck. That's where it's always a tough position, especially when you have these races with a scheduled caution, a competition caution. Being a leader going in, you don't know if you need to save your tires for a late race caution. Now, granted, kudos to these guys. We went 56, 57 laps out of caution, green flag racing. That's good at a tough track like this, especially one that you run up near the wall. Very little room for mistakes. So, but Jason Day, he may not be in the hornet's nest, meaning he may not be in the middle of the pack, but he's in the hornet's nest when it comes to pit road decision making.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't follow NASCAR too much, but I think Chase Elliott got gypped on that at Charlotte last year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the year before.
You're exactly right.
Yep. Like you said, leaders are sitting duck right now, so we all know that, especially late race situations where tires are a thing. Whatever the leader does, the second place guy is going to do the complete opposite of, and every single guy behind the second place guy is going to do the same thing. So if Jason Day stays out, for example, and he's the only one in the field that doesn't take tires, and if that thing goes green for the rest of the race, he's going to be a sitting duck, like you said. There's some other words, but I won't say them. But it looks like he's actually pulled out to about a second lead from Brad Ringer. Looks like we'll have the competition caution in about 2 laps. Tommy Dunn hasn't let up any on Christian Pittman, though.
I want to ask, if you're Tyler Catalano, if you're running 7th, Tyler Catalano showed he had speed. He had a little incident with Zach Murphy. The good thing is about this Crooked Line Racing Series, these drivers have one fast repair, meaning they get a mulligan. If you follow golf at all, you get a mulligan. Like, you get a redo, you get a retry with a fast repair. So if you're Tommy Catalano, do you take your fast repair and then try to gamble with 2 tires? I mean, track position is key. If you think you're not using your left side very much, go in there and take right sides and try to gain a few spots off pit road.
I'll tell you what, the competition caution just came out, so we're gonna have to see. He actually was behind sixth place Zach Murphy for about a second and a half, so he definitely backed off. I don't know if it's intentional or if he has some damage, like we said before. We'll have to see about that. But I'm gonna actually jump back up to the front. It looks like we'll have a Jason Day is pitting this time by.
He may have been speeding too, Brian. He came in quick. He slowed down pretty quick, but boy, oh boy, that'd be tough to get a speeding penalty. You have to take an end of a line penalty. But yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see majority, if not all, these cars jack up at least right side of the car. They're taking right side tires, if I had to guess. Did Jason Day, did he go through his pit box? No, just Lucas Oil has some weird pit boxes, huh?
Yeah, I was about to say Lucas Oil has a weird pit box. They got a weird pit road. They got a weird pit entry. Kind of that solo driveway to the pits, and you can see on the ticker the guys that did pit. It looks like Zach Murphy, Christian Pittman, Brad Ringer, and Jason Day were all the ones that pit. And like I said, Zach Murphy and Christian Pittman were racing hard, but Tommy Dunn and Ken Zienstra were being kind of conservative. Tommy Dunn was racing pretty hard, but he's finding himself in the lead right now. It looks like everybody but Tommy Dunn is pit now.
Did Ken Zeems and all them go down too?
Yep,
they're
sure
going down right now.
Wow, so Tommy Dunn's going to be sitting duck now. So this restart's going to be interesting because if I had to guess, I would guess Jason Day is going to restart second, and he's going to start on that top line too.
Yeah, and Tommy Dunn will get lane choice in this series. So if Tommy elects to take the high lane, I don't think it's going to matter, though. I think they just went 60 green flag laps, so these tires, they may not be shot, but they're not going to be even comparable to the fresh tires that these guys are on. And Tommy Dunn just don't have no buffer. He's got the most dominant car starting to his inside or outside on fresh rubber.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Now, Tommy Dunn actually did pit. I'm curious to see if pit road was actually close when he came in, but as we were watching Ken Zeems for that pit stop, he did take both right sides and left side tires, so I'm pretty sure everybody used all four, if I had to guess.
I think, I'm not throwing shade on nobody. I'm calling it just from a broadcaster, but Tommy Dunn, I don't like that call. If I've already made my bed, everybody's went down, I see everybody's went down, I think I'm going to make my bed and hope for a caution later on in the race, right?
Yep, I was just about to say that. I was going to say if Tommy Dunn stays out for this restart and he waits, 10, 20 laps and there's another caution, he's going to have 10 to 20 laps of tires on those guys. So when we get to the last 10, 20 laps of the race itself, lap 105, lap 110, he's going to have, that much better tires than everybody else on the track. Now, that's the thing. If you can pass on the outside here or the inside, it's not like Martinsville where it's almost impossible to pass on the outside. You have to get on the inside here, out there. But here at Lucas Oil, like you said before, you can kind of shortcut your way through some of the turns coming off 4 and 2. But the toll for that is trying to shave those tires off. And it looks like Jason Day is going to take the outside here.
Ooh. Yep. The leader's going to take the outside. We'll see the lights go off on the Mustang pace car. I want to hit on, you hit on how hard it is passing here, and that's why we haven't had no real big movers. Currently, right now, Keith Mack, he gridded up in the 15th spot, had issues on qualifying. He's currently running 7th. That's going to be our biggest mover right now. As we see the pace car make that hard left turn, as we're about to go racing.
One thing I'm actually curious about too is Zach Murphy actually pulled out in front of Christian Pittman coming out of the pit road. So I'm curious to see if Zach Murphy only took 2 tires or not. We'll have to see what happens throughout the race.
Did you notice how quick Jason Day pulled out right then? He pulled off quick on that restart. But look who's right there. Christian Pittman says, "Honey, I'm home," and they are wrecking down the backstretch. Oh, no. That was Christian Pittman in the 8 machine for sure. I did not see.
It looks like Brad Ringer as well. We'll have to pull up that replay and see what happened.
That's 2.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up, Tanner. I'm gonna have to bring the iRacing overlay up, but that's all right. That's a live broadcast.
Okay.
But I don't want to give you any spoilers. But it looks like Jason Day and Christian Pittman just like a racing deal. We'll have to see what happens here, but I'll play it through and let you guys decide for yourself.
Ooh, looks like Christian Pittman may have just had started to step out on him, or was there contact before that?
Yeah, it
Let's
looks like
see.
Christian Pittman got the high line, preferred line coming out of 2. Looks like he gets a run. I just got loose.
Just
Might be
started
cold tires.
right. You got 4 fresh pieces of rubber right there, no heat in the tires, and I think he saw that, like you said, he was getting ready to have that preferred lane. He wanted to step on it. Did not want Jason Day to clear him right then. If Jason Day clears him, Jason Day may check out. So
Yeah, as you can see there, he was working the wheel pretty hard trying to save it too.
tough break for Brad Ringer in that formation. He took a hard lick into the inside wall. He was just an innocent bystander, nowhere to go. The bomb got dropped at his feet and it exploded without him being able to walk away. I mean, he was just there.
Yeah, he absolutely had nowhere to go. Christian Pittman kicked out, and there's nothing you could do. He might have got a hit from behind from Zach Murphy too, so I'm curious to see if Zach Murphy actually ends up with any damage as well. But we'll have to transition here back to the front and see what people are looking like now.
No plume of smoke that came out of them or nothing like that. So if they didn't use their fast repair, they still got a fast repair. But Brandon, we've hit on it all night. Track position, track position, track position, and them boys just lost a lot of track position right there.
Yep, you're not wrong about that at all. Looks like Christian Pittman took most of it. He's back in 12th, so I'm guessing he was in the pit for longer. Bad Ringer's now 11th, so yeah, like you said, I didn't see any engines blow up either, and Christian Pittman hit that inside wall pretty dang hard. So we'll have to see. I would expect them to take a quick repair either way, because there's got to be some suspension damage or something there, right?
There would have to be, you would think. Both of them hit the wall, but also I tell Zach every week, don't start a rivalry with somebody on a short track because I promise you, no matter what, you will be around them. You will race them again. Look who's sitting 1-2 right now, folks.
You got
Ain't
that
that funny?
exactly right. Yep.
Ain't that funny the way life works?
And then that's no mistake either, because Jason Day and Zach Murphy are definitely, 2 of the top 5 fastest guys that we've seen every single week throughout the Tuesday Tour Modified Series so far this year.
Yep, so I'm currently right now trying to pull up how many wins between just those 2 drivers we have this season alone. I think off the top of my head, I'm not going to go off the top of my head because I don't want to butcher it. So currently right now, Jason Day is sitting with 2 wins. He's sitting second in the points. You wouldn't believe he's sitting first in the points. Zach Murphy's sitting first in points with a win. It's just Zach Murphy. He's been consistent all year. This is the 8th race of the season, and we've only counted 7 races, obviously. And out of those 7 races, Zach Murphy's either finished top 5 times in the race or top 10 6 times in the race. We go back green flag racing. And Jason Day gets a great jump. He's figured out them restarts, and that's a huge key to success here.
Yeah, you got that 100% correctly. Especially when you're starting on that high line, you got a ton of room up there to work, especially on his cautions, because the inside line is probably going to be down on that yellow line like Tyler Catalano is right now. Because, you're not wearing those tires out at all. You're just trying to take the shortest way around the track. Might as well do it under caution on the load line. But Jason Day got a huge jump there. He's got about a 0.4 second lead on Zach Murphy right now, sitting second.
Right, I mean, you love racing. I mean, that's why we do this. That's why we do iRacing. That's why people race in real life. But if I'm the leader, if I control the start, I don't want to race that guy on my inside going into turn 1. I'll race him going to the end of the race or whatever, but if I can clear him, check out, I'm gone. See you later. Bye.
You got that exactly right, because I'm pretty sure I'm in the same boat as that. Especially on dirt racing, too. I mean, when you have that whole turn to yourself in dirt racing, you can use as much track as you want. And it's kind of the same thing here. Lucas Oil is kind of unconventional, like I said. That bottom line is not the fast line. So on any restart and almost any other track, you're going to take that inside line on the restart. But as we saw, Jason Day took the high line. That's definitely, obviously, a pretty good decision.
You're right. But look, he did get a great start. He got a great jump. But Zach Murphy, I'm telling you, he's a driver to watch week in and week out. But don't sleep on Ken Zeems in that 90 machine either, because I promise you, he's a very, very stout driver. And if y'all know the Zeems name, Kenny Zeems, that's actually his son. He runs a lot of official races, and he's a really fast driver as well. So Apple didn't fall too far from that tree because Ken Zeems is pretty fast as well.
Yeah, he's finding himself in third right now. He's been running the top 5 all night. And now we're just past 50 laps to go in this race. So actually, some of those laps ticked away faster than I thought. I don't know about you, Tanner.
Yeah, you get up here in the broadcast booth and they say time goes by fast when you're having fun, but it goes by even faster when there's no cautions for 60 laps, huh?
Yeah, speaking of faster, like I said before, Tommy Dunn's been fast all afternoon. He was one of the last people to pit, and now he's found his way up to sixth spot. So he's made his way back through the field. He's knocking on the door of Tyler Colano right now, looking for that top 5.
Scotty Stevens, he's our race control for the night. He actually sent us a message and said Tyler Colano did not take any tires underneath that competition caution. So I think we're seeing the difference in pace right now between old rubber and fresh rubber. As you see Tommy Dunn. Tommy Dunn is a very patient driver, but if he knows that driver in front of him is on old tires, how long can you bide your time when you got about 30 laps remaining in a race?
And to make things even worse, AJ Warren is right on his bumper too. So Tommy Dunn's in a sandwich. He's got Tyler Colano, which is definitely faster than he looks on the inside here. Tyler gets a little loose. That rear end kicks out. We'll see what happens coming off the corner. Tommy Dunn. Oh, that's that code.
I think they were going to hit before.
Yeah,
Anyways,
Tommy Dunn. That would have been tough.
I think they were going to hit.
And I
that
think
just made
Tyler just lost his engine.
No.
Yes, he did. It's smoking right now. We'll see if he can make it all the way around to his pit stall, but we'll have to check in with that.
That's a tough break for that 64 machine. As long as that smoke's still rolling, he's good. It's when that smoke stops. Now, I know that sounds weird, but welcome to Iracing. When that smoke stops, his motor is completely done. So he just needs the smoke to keep going as he actually overshoots the pit entry lane. You said it. You hit on it. You said pit road has a terrible pit entrance, and we just saw it right there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. He locked his brakes up and everything. I don't know if he was looking somewhere else or something like that, but I would assume even with pits for closer there, I would definitely pit in, just take that EOL, especially when you have an engine on the line.
You're going to the back anyways. You're exactly right. Just take the EOL, be a man, and because you're going to the back, so you're not really losing anything. But luckily for him, in that 64 machine, he's going to be able to use his fast repair. And I don't think he took tires. Scotty Stevens told me to watch out for something. I don't think Tyler Colano took tires, so he should be able to get 4 Mr. Feelgoods right here, and I think he'll be okay after using his fast repair, if he still has it in his pocket.
Yeah, I'm waiting, and seeing what he does here. There he goes. He does take his tires. So that's a good call on Scotty right there. I had no idea. And it looks like Levi Allen actually. Yeah, it looks like his engine expired too, but he just got his fast repair, so he's good now.
It did. Good call on that. Levi Allen pulled in right behind him in the 41 machine, last week's race winner, and had to use his fast repair there too. And Brandon, you racing these races with a fast repair. Some people think it makes people race a little bit aggressively, and it probably does. But man, it's so nice knowing you got that in the back of your pocket for instances like net code. Say somebody spins out in front of you, self spins, and you hit them, you blow a motor. I mean, it's nice to have that fast repair in your back pocket.
Yeah, you got that exactly right. Because of any world, especially in real life, we wouldn't have netcode or a connection issue like we usually see, or sometimes see, I should say. But it's kind of get back in this race because in the normal world, without any fast repairs in the sim or anything like that, Tyler Colano would probably not be in a race car right now. He'd probably be sitting in a hospital bed. But now he's back on the racetrack, looking for a top 10 now, trying to get towards the front, and we'll see if he can get back to Tommy Dunn.
Or he'd be Daniel Suarez trying to throw his water ball inside of Tommy Dunn's window, even though I don't. As race control, Scotty's coming across saying right now what he's saying is happening, but I can't really hear. If you was in race control and peek behind the curtain, you normally are. I mean, how do you call that? It looks like a racing incident. 2 guys going for one lane that wasn't there. I mean, it wasn't there for either driver.
Yeah, it kind of depends how the race is going. If this is a really aggressive race and people really can't, get a grip and run some green flag laps, we might be strict on it and say, hey, you got to cut that crap out. We got to clean it up a little bit, you know what I mean? But in a race like that, where that was only the second true caution, or natural caution, I should say, they were racing pretty hard right there. And if Tommy would have cleared him, that would have been a heck of a move. But like we saw, obviously, Tommy didn't quite clear him and got his Tyler Catalano's left front and put them both in the wall, unfortunately.
As a race director, I don't like seeing what Tyler Catalano's doing right now. I'm not even going to bring mention to it, but it's kind of cheesy. It's an iRacing glitch more than anything. But yeah, you see Jason Day. I feel like I've said this name a lot here lately in these races that I call. This man has found speed, and no matter what car he's in, and he puts it up near the front every time. And I didn't even notice it, but Ken Zeems, he's starting second on the board right now. I thought it was Zach Murphy a while ago.
Yep, I was going to bring that up too because I looked at the standings and I was like, Kim Zeems is starting on the front row in this restart. So we'll have to see what happens here. Zach Murphy has been the fastest guy all afternoon, so we'll have to see what happens with him on the inside in third. That's a big storyline right there.
And as you notice, Jason Day, he did not fire off quick this time, but he still gets a good jump. These guys, I mean, you're a sitting duck, you're second on the board. I mean, these restarts are so hard to time, but Jason Day, he switched them up every time. He's keeping them on their toes. He's keeping them honest all around him because they're not able to jump it because sometimes he goes late, sometimes he goes early, and guess what? That's up to him. He's the leader. He's earned that right.
I'll tell you what, given the circumstances, Ken Zemes has probably had a perfect restart. He is right on the bumper of Jason Day going into 1 here.
I think you see about the top 5 drivers, every one of them has race winning speed. It's just going to figure out who has that most speed at the end when it counts.
Yeah, you got that right. And like I said before, Zach Murphy's been fast all afternoon. He's up in 3rd spot. Tommy Dunn, he didn't actually suffer much from that wreck. He's in the top 5 right now. It looks like Christian Pittman's stuck back in 9th, and Tyler Carolano's 11th. And I think Brad Ringer actually got into the wall going into 1 on that last restart. He's back in 13th. He was running 2nd place and actually led some laps this race.
I'm not sure who that was. We had join our broadcast room right there. Excuse me for that, folks. But yeah, Ken Zemes, he's not letting Jason Day in that 52 machine get any type of breathing room. But also, Zach Murphy in that 29 machine is not giving Ken Zemes any breathing room either.
No, Zach Murphy's got speed, and like we saw before, he's not scared of racing green to checker. Like I said before, we got 37 laps to go, and he is still right on the bumper of Ken Zemes as we see some smoke in the back of the field. But Ken Zemes has looked on the inside of Jason Day for the past 3 or 4 laps consistently.
You're exactly right, Brandon. I gotta handle something just 1 second. I'll throw the broadcast to you for about 30 seconds.
Oh, that's no problem with me because Zach Murphy is looking on the inside of Ken Zemes right now, which takes away Ken Zemes' possibility of getting low on Jason Day. So Jason Day is absolutely loving what he's seeing in the mirror right now, especially when Zach Murphy's trying to make that move on Ken Zemes. Because if this race goes green and Zach Murphy slows down Ken Zemes, Jason Day has all that time to gain on the 2nd and 3rd place cars right now. And Brad Carpenter right now sitting in 4th, just looking and watching and seeing where they're going because he's about 0.8 seconds, 0.9 seconds off of Jason Day right now. He obviously can't lead anyone else right now, trying to work through 3 cars, but we'll have to see what happens here. Ken Zemes, like I said, he's right on the bumper of Jason Day, lap after lap after lap, as his field expands a little bit right now. But Ken Zemes is still there. He's a fast guy. I've seen him. I've raced with him several times, and he's not scared to race a little bit either.
You're exactly right. I mean, he will use a Jaws terminology. He smells blood in the water right now. He's actually got his way up to 2nd place, and not only is he in 2nd place, but he's right on the leader's doorstep. So he wants to pounce on any type of mistake. I don't think he'll move Jason Day. I don't think Ken Zemes that type of driver. Now, maybe on lap 124 he might, but on lap 94 I don't think so. It's going to take a mistake by Jason Day, and Jason Day's a veteran. It's mistakes by veterans on here, they come few and far in between.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. One thing I want to do is actually jump back because we have another storyline here. Tyler Catalano is actually up to 8th spot right now, and he's giving the door to Jimmy Weaver. He's not messing around. He wants back up to the top 5 where he was running until he got into that caution with Tommy Dunn. But Tyler Catalano is on the move, and one thing we talked about earlier, Tyler Catalano did not take his tires on that 1 pit stop. So he's got fresher tires than every single person out in the field, I'm pretty sure right now.
You're exactly right. And it may not be by a lot, but it don't matter if it's 1 lap or 10 laps. Fresher tires, and they will end up proving to be beneficial by the time this race is over with.
Yeah, we got 30 laps to go right now, so that means if Tyler wants any chance of winning this race, he's got to move, and he's got A.J. Warren in his way right now. Like I said before in the broadcast, you have 2 strategies you have when you have new tires. You can either conserve them and wait for the race to progress and wait for last 10 to 20, 30 laps to make a move, or you can use them while you have them. And it looks like that's kind of what Tyler's trying to do right now. He's having trouble getting caught up to A.J. Warren right now, but we'll have to see. We'll jump back to the front here and see how the lead's looking.
Well, currently we got Ken Zemes. Not a whole lot's changed. I feel like deja vu from 10 laps ago. Ken Zemes is right on the back bumper of Jason Day. Only difference right now is Zach Murphy is kind of, I don't want to necessarily say falling back, but Ken Zemes, he looked to the inside of Jason Day. I thought he was actually going to try to make that stick, and we may have had a collision right then. So very smart heads-up move by Ken Zemes to actually back out of it right there.
Yeah, like I said over and over, he is not afraid to look on the inside. But one caveat to looking on the inside is he's going to wear them tires out. So it's going to be interesting for Zach Murphy and Brad Carpenter here, because if they can just kind of sit and watch right now, catch it because it seems later in the race, they might be able to make a pass for him if they can serve right.
You're exactly right, and like I hit on what goes. It's a track like this where you gotta almost be up high to pass somebody. It's going to take a mistake, whether that's Jason Day, maybe going down low as we see Ken Zeems. He said no mistakes needed. I am sending it. He's going to try to send it, but look, just watch this run. Jason Day gets on the exit, and Ken Zeems, he has to lift, because if he don't lift, Zach Murphy and Brad Carpenter both into the wall behind them, or Carpenter.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like a little bit of follow the leader there. When you're looking at somebody's bumper and you're kind of matching where their braking zone is and everything like that, you're going to match them when you get into the wall too, because you can't see that outside wall past the car in front of you, obviously. So I think it's just a case of that. I do it all the time. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. I mean, yes.
Oh, man. Well, it looks like Tommy Dunn's still in 5th. He didn't have much of a damage, it looks like, from that one wreck. I mean, he obviously, I would assume he took a pretty good shot into the right front, into that front stretch wall, but it doesn't look like he's having much of issues right now. It looks like he's trying to make a move on Brad Carpenter, but not quite yet. Like I said, Tommy Dunn's is a pretty good guy. He's pretty smart when it comes to, racing and being happy with where he is. So I'm not sure if he's happy with the top 5 or if he thinks he's faster than Brad Carpenter, but we'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, because everybody's single file right now, 23 laps to go.
I am completely shocked at, and I'm not taking anything away from Levi Allen, the 41 machine, because he was blazing fast last week. I mean, absolutely blazing fast. So he may be almost like me, Brandon, whereas you come to these tracks, these short tracks especially, when you run up near the wall, these are definitely not my strong suit, So it may be a situation like that.
I'm sure he's tried to run this race pretty hard all race, because like we said before, those winners start in the rear, so it makes it really, really difficult to make some passes here, especially when, it's really hard to pass on the low line. Like Ken Zeems is having trouble passing Jason Day right now on the low line. Levi Allen might have had some misfortune in the back. We've been in the top 5 for most of the race, so we might not have seen everything that's been going on. And like we said before, he did blow a motor right behind Tyler Colorado that last pit. So maybe he's having some issues back there, but he is currently 8 seconds off of Jason Day, so he's a little bit off the pace.
And I know, like you said, we followed the top 5, but that's just, I feel like that's what we need to be at whenever the racing's this close and everybody's single file. So that's not a slight to anybody in here. This is our first broadcast together. This is the first time me and Brandon's ever been in the booth together. So we're still learning each other. Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first broadcast you ever actually produced by yourself?
It's definitely the first one I've produced, and definitely, for sure, the first one I've ever actually commentated for. So, kind of producing and talking at the same time is a little bit of a challenge. I've never done it before. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but yeah, you do this every week, right? You talk about the racing and kind of what's going on.
I just talk, whether I'm being recorded or live or we're just sitting over here shooting the crap. I just like to talk racing, and I enjoy coming in here Tuesday nights, and I enjoy calling with Zach, but I've really enjoyed this tonight. It's been fun going back and forth with you tonight, Brian. Appreciate your help. Just don't be asking for money.
I don't ask for money, just from sponsors. What you do for our team, so I appreciated that. And I think everyone on our team kind of appreciates that as well.
Well, I appreciate that. It's nice to feel appreciated, I guess we'll say.
I can definitely appreciate that. I appreciate you appreciating.
As we see, our current leader, Deja Vu, Jason Day, he's actually opened it up. No, never mind. I wasn't live. That's a mistake on my end. Ken Zeems is still there.
Yeah, Ken hasn't backed off one bit. I'm curious to see. I mean, Ken Zeems and Jason Day have pulled away from Zach Murphy and Brad Carpenter. Zach Murphy was only about 0.3 or 0.4 back, but he is almost a full second back from him now. Now they're going to get reeled in back a little bit here because they had to check up a little bit, but 15 laps to go this time by. This is ramping up a little bit.
I think that 90 machine might be faster than the 52 machine right now as it stands, because, I mean, Jason Day just he didn't block him. He just kind of was defensive with his line almost there. And that forced Ken Zeems to have to check up. Ooh, Ken Zeems gets loose on entry right then. But each time that Jason Day does that and Ken Zeems has to back off, it never really hurts him because he's able to drop him back down within the next corner. So I think Ken Zeems might actually have the better car right now as it stands.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that too. But like we said before, Ken Zeems is mimicking everything Jason Day does right now. Ken Zeems has definitely taken a lower line on entry lap after lap, but I mean, it's working out for him. He's been fluctuating 0.2, 0.1 right on the bumper every single lap. He'll catch up, and then he's got to check up a little bit. He gets a good run here and there, but with 3 or 4 laps to go, I don't think he's going to be racing the same. He's going to be looking for that inside line coming off the corner.
You're exactly right. I just want to hit on, we're about 10 laps to go here, a little bit over 10 laps, and our 10 laps to go is sponsored by BAM Racing Videos over on YouTube. You can check them out on YouTube. You can check them out on Facebook. It's a guy that goes around. He shoots racing videos like at local short tracks. He specializes in short tracks, but he goes to dirt tracks, asphalt tracks, anywhere just about you can go in the southeast United States, and even as far as the north. I mean, any type of big track, I can say that guy's probably been there. That's BAM Racing Videos. He sponsored our last 10 laps to go, and we appreciate that. And check out BAM Racing Videos on YouTube.com.
Yeah, I heard that guy's actually pretty good. I don't know who he is, but he does a lot of hard work. I'm hearing through the grapevine, but I actually hear in May he's actually planning on going to 10 tracks for 10 nights of videos in 8 days. That's going to be kind of interesting how he manages that, but that's kind of the racing deal in the month of May in Indiana. We'll have to see. We'll have to stay tuned on that. But
excuse my language, but that guy's a douche. I'm joking. In all seriousness, BAM Racing Videos is on YouTube. Search him up. Give him a like on Facebook. It's Brandon Medler who's calling this race with me. He puts a lot of time and effort in this, and I mean, it shows. It's quality videos. You get Kenny Wallace to shout you out on YouTube. I mean, you're doing something right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. We're talking about that. I think we're going to fit that in, and we'll show him what 5 Kings is about and see what he thinks about that. But we might be talking about that later in the future. We got 9 laps to go in this race, though, and Ken Zeems has not backed down one bit.
The future is here now. I mean, we gridded up. It felt like not even an hour ago, and now we're coming to about 6 laps or so to go, 7 laps to go, and man, I think Ken Zeems wants to put down a W in the win column for him this season.
I was about to say, I don't know if he's won this season yet. I don't think he has, but he's had some good runs here and there. I don't know if he had any wins last season. I don't know if you know off the top of your head or not.
So looking at the points right now, Ken Zeems actually does have a race win this season, but he had some computer issues for 2 weeks, so he missed 2 weeks. Luckily for him, we do offer 2 drop weeks that get accounted for at the end of the season. But as it stands right now with no drop weeks, missing 2 races, he's still in 6th place in the points. So that shows how strong he's been all season long.
Yep, strong, good finishes, and consistency is key. We have previous season winners in the past that didn't win a race all year, and they won the championship. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know. You might have to remind me later after. We'll have to look at
that. That
guy. We're coming to 5 to go right here, and Ken Zeems isn't there. He's about 0.3 off. I'm kind of wondering if Jason Day is kind of, putting that pedal to the metal and saying, this is 5 laps to go. It's go time now. Hit your marks. Focus on your race and not the guy behind you.
At some point, you have to. At some point, you got to leave the mirror behind. And I say it all the time, and it's kind of like a weird saying, leave the mirror behind. Quit checking that mirror. You can't change anything by checking that mirror. The only thing you can change is cause yourself to make a mistake if you're watching that mirror too much. Focus out in front of you, look at that windshield, and I promise you that's what the 52 machine's doing. And you hit on it earlier. That guy that's in second, he's playing follow the leader. So he can almost match the pace of Jason Day, but getting around him at a track like this, getting there is one thing. You still got to, that's only half the problem. You got to get around him then once you get there. And right now, Jason Day has actually created a little bit of room between him and Ken Zeems. And you notice Ken Zeems actually going down really far on entry now, Brandon.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Ken Zeems is starting to get a little bit desperate now. He's closing that gap about 1/10 of a second every single turn on entry. But he takes that low line, he's cutting the track, and he has to check up and apex that corner every single lap. And he scrubs those tires down every single lap. And Jason Day is holding him off. It's going to be interesting to see if Ken Zeems decides to use the bumper here and kind of, I won't say dive bomb, but get a good run going to the corner and finish Jason Day off on exit. But we're on 2 to go now. We're coming to the white flag.
Yeah, we're about to come to the white flag, and I want to give a shout out to Christian Pittman's grandma and grandpa. We love y'all watching every week. I know Christian ain't been on the broadcast for a little bit just because he kind of got shuffled back, but we're white flag racing right now, and this is the next flag's going to end this race, and as it stands right now, I think it's going to be Jason Day in the 52 machine.
Yeah, he almost made a big mistake right there. He actually got into the wall going into turn 3, but he's he's sailing now. We're gonna shoot it to the wide shot, and Jason Day is gonna be your race winner.
And there you have it, Jason Day. I'm sorry for talking over you. Jason Day in the 52 machine in the butt kicker MF Racing Sign Zimbox 52 modified machine is going to bring it home P1 here tonight. That is race win number 3 for Jason Day. So he's putting together a very strong season, Brandon. As you see, we got Ken Zeems finishing up P2 and Zach Murphy finishing out rounding off the top 3. As we see Jason Day sitting right here, he's getting ready to burn it down.
Yeah, might as well. He's been saving those tires all race. Might as well burn them down now. When you don't have to take them at home anymore. There's no reason to put them on right now. You might use it for practice tires later in the year, but who cares? Celebrate your win. Good
Yeah,
job, Jason Day.
burn him down, young fellow. Burn him down. I say young fellow, and he's the oldest on 5 Kings. What an old geezer. Jason Day, I know you'll watch us back. Maple Leaf Muscle, congratulations on your win, buddy. All right, there you have it. And then I will start to pull them down. I know we talked about it before. I'll let you ask first question, I'll ask second question, and then we'll send them on their way.
Right on.
We'll bring in third place Zach Murphy, and he'll be ready for you whenever you're ready.
Yep, I'm going to take a small break, and I'll cue you in whenever I'm ready, and we'll get started.
All righty. Tonight ended up P2. Zach Murphy, P6, ended up coming in P3 tonight, so that's a very good, strong run for our points leader. Brad Carpenter brought it home P4, starting 10th. Tommy Dunn finished 5th tonight on the board, so that's another strong finish for Tommy Dunn, a nice top 5. AJ Warren, he was a quiet driver tonight. We didn't have to mention him much, and normally on a short track, that's a good thing because you know you're not getting in trouble. And I mean, it proves he finished P6 tonight, starting P12. He actually might be our biggest mover of the night. Tyler Catalano, we saw him get into trouble earlier, but fought his way back for a decent finish, finishing P7. Jimmy Weaver, Christian Pittman, and Matt Sicardo, they're going to round out your 8th, 9th, and 10th positions. But Brandon, I think we have Zach in the booth. Do you want to holler at him?
Zach, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right. That was a pretty good race for you. You were in the top 3, top 5 most of the race, if I'm not mistaken. What were your initial thoughts as far as the tire conservation early in the race versus after that caution at the midway point?
Yeah, this was usually typically a decent track for me. I just couldn't quite find my groove with this set, but yeah, as far as tire conservation, I was trying to as best I can, but you're also trying to keep up with the guys in front of you, so it's one of them games you got to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that up in the booth throughout the race. People that try to look inside, going into the corners, are going to wear the tires more than the people that have the faster line on the outside, given the track that Lucas Oil has for us. So, kind of what are your thoughts about strategizing for those lower line passes and keeping it up high and conserving and that kind of thing?
Yeah, definitely. It was tough to make a pass tonight unless you could really get down there on the low groove and make it stick. Yeah, the top groove definitely had the run, and you definitely had to drive her in there deep on the low groove to make it work or make somebody make a mistake. And definitely made for some good racing, but everybody was clean tonight. There was a couple little mishaps, but nothing too serious.
That's what sorry, Brandon. That's what just calling it from up in the booth, Zach. I mean, you know, it's a different viewpoint than what you see out your windshield. But coming into the night, even when you qualified P6, I said it from the get go. You were my shoe-in favorite to win it because you always seem to put that 29 machine up front when it counts most, and you did it tonight. I mean, at one point you were right on Jason Day's bumper when you were in second, and all it takes is a mistake. But as you know, you start moving your way up the field. Those mistakes, they come further and far between. You know, so. Overall, good race tonight, Zach. You got any sponsors or shout-outs you want to throw out there before we send you back to your race team, buddy?
Yeah, if anything, I was the one making mistakes tonight. I hit the wall a few times and caught up in a few things. But yeah, I'd just like to thank my guys over at SimCrow and thank you guys for putting this on. It's a fun place to come race on Tuesday nights, and hopefully we can get a few more guys out here and keep this thing going.
You know, Zach, I'm the admin over this, and I'll apologize because the fields have gotten smaller, and I don't like saying that, but I enjoy you showing up every week. I enjoy calling your races. I enjoy watching you race. 9 times out of 10 you run clean, but I said it, if you watch it back in the broadcast, I hit on it. I said Zach Murphy's the one driver. He's going to go. It don't matter if it's lap 1 or lap 125. He's always go, go, go. And I respect that because that's the way I am. So kudos to you for finishing P3 tonight, Zach. And I'm sure before this season's over with, we'll be talking to you again, buddy.
Yeah, I hope so, guys. Thanks for putting this on. And like you said, yeah, once that green flag drops, we're going to the front. That's where we're going. So
That's one good thing about Zach Murphy. If he's in your league, if he don't make it to the front, he's gonna die trying because he's getting there one way or another.
that's for sure, buddy. You guys have a good night. Thanks for putting this on.
Absolutely. Mr. Brandon Medler, Bam Racing Videos finest. You have Ken Zeems waiting you.
Ken Zeems, you got a copy?
I got you guys.
I'll tell you what, Ken. That last green flag run, that last restart, you were on Jason Day's bumper for 90% of that run. What'd you think?
Well, it's one of the toughest tracks to pass in here on the sim. So, as long as you run that outside, it's tough to really get under a guy. I'd have to move him out of the way. That's not my style. So, P2 tonight. It's a good run.
Ken, I hit on it a little bit as we were discussing the points at the end. How many races did you miss? I know you missed at least one race due to PC issues, correct?
Yeah, last week, computer, I couldn't do the update, so I missed that. I didn't even know I was P2 in points. Honestly, God, I'm not even following the points. So,
well, coming into the night, missing a race, you fell back to P6, Ken, but we get 2 drop weeks. So at the end of the season, I think you're going to be right up there. Missing a race, still being P6, that's still pretty good. But yeah, like Brandon said tonight, man, you were kind of quiet the first half of the race. And by quiet, I don't mean that derogatory because you were top 5 all night. But you kept your nose clean. And coming out of that competition caution, it was like a light switch just flipped. And did you discover race pace or was you just conserving it to the competition caution? Talk me through it.
well, as you know, sometimes I don't qualify. Depending on where the track is. This track is a lot about track position, so I figured I better qualify. Get a decent starting spot and just fall in there and kind of ride around till the competition caution, because I don't know. I'm 45 years old, so I don't need to race the whole race. You guys, not a lot of leagues have the competition caution. You guys do, so there's a caution coming there, and everybody's going to pit. So that's I race a little harder after that. So if to me it makes no difference. I guess if I'm running 3rd or 5th before the competition caution. So
I didn't know actually that you were a little bit older and wiser than us young folks. So today's my birthday. I'm 29. I want to ask you, and they say learn from your elders. Do you like the competition caution? It's something that we just brought in just to try it. What's your thoughts?
I don't mind it. I'll race whatever the rules are. So I just kind of adjust to that. It's not bad.
I, my train of thought on it was, Ken, that it keeps one guy from checking out on the field. So Jason Day, for the first half of the race, he by far had the most dominant car. But like you said, you were just riding. I think Murphy was just kind of riding. He was pushing, but not really pushing. And I think the competition caution, it just spices things up. But Ken, you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there before I send you back to your race team?
Yeah, I got to thank Ryko Motorsports, for all they do for us and Kenny, and got Premier Gaming and our Apcar Esports team, and I appreciate everything they do. It's fun racing here. As I say, it's fun racing with Zach and Brad. We've been racing on this for a long time, so it's always good racing with those guys. I'm new to racing with Jason, but he's tough to beat, so it's always fun, man.
Yep, it's like I told Zach, and this ain't me like kissing tail nothing like that. I really look forward to Tuesday nights calling the race because y'all race each other hard. Yeah, there might be contact between the top 5 guys every now and then, but this series, whether it's fixed setup, if the setup's too loose, setup's too tight, y'all never complain about it. Y'all go out there and y'all put on a show. So you don't have to thank me. I'm gonna thank you for coming and keep coming every week, and we'll keep calling it. And I'm sure like I told Zach Murphy, I'm sure we'll be talking to you before the season's up with again.
Oh, you got me. I'm too old to complain, man. It's like that. All these setups. The setup's the setup.
you want to race, you got to adapt to it. There's no reason to complain about it. So,
Exactly. Everybody's in the same ballpark. I mean,
absolutely, man.
all right then, Ken. I'm gonna let you go, brother. I'm gonna tell
Yep.
you, congratulations on the top two. I have no doubt you'll get another win for the season's over with.
All right, man. I'll keep trying.
All right, buddy. We'll be here.
All right, Tanner. Thanks.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. That was Ken Zames finishing P2. Going to be a good points night for him. But currently, we have Racing Jason or Maple Leaf Muscle.
Jason Day, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right on. First of all, congratulations for the good run. I saw you battling with Brad Ringer up towards the front for the first half of the race. What was it like racing with him? And when he got by you, were you letting him by, or were you trying to keep on his pace and try to pass him soon after that, or what were you trying to do there?
I let him by on purpose. He was all over me, and I wanted to save a little bit, see what was going on. So I let Brad by, and then tire wear kind of came into him. He was getting really loose, so I just got by him again, and he was nice enough to let me go again. And the car was really good on the long run, but man, Ken was fast in that last run. If I couldn't keep the car held in that middle line that whole time, he would have got by me. But he said he's 45, I'm 44, so I guess the veterans pulled it off tonight.
Yep, the old man that came in out here and showed out for the youngins. So congratulations on that, Jason. Congratulations on your win again, man. I said it in the broadcast, but here lately, I know me and you, we talk daily, and you said here lately you've had bad luck. Man, it seems like if Jason Day shows up in that 52 machine, go ahead and pencil him in for a win. And you did it here again tonight, buddy.
A good week. Trucks win Sunday, super late win last night, and this win tonight. So I think I'm done for the week now.
Well, I like hearing that, Jason. I don't like hearing that you're done for the week. You need to keep them coming, brother. But coming back to the race here tonight, I wanna touch on that ending right there because there was times where Ken Zeems he was there, and you would drive that middle lane, and I noticed that your lap times wasn't really falling off when you moved down, but Ken Zeems he definitely did discover pace right then. Was you expecting maybe a light tap to get shoved up the track, or did you kind of just think Ken was going to run you pretty straight up?
The few times I've raced Ken, it's always been really clean. I've raced him clean, so I was hoping to get the same. But I was expecting a tap. I wasn't expecting to get wrecked or anything. But I thought maybe he'd give me a little push, maybe move me up a little bit so he could get a run. But like he said in his interview, if you're middle high, you have the run off the corner. So it's pretty hard to make a pass unless guy gets loose and you can get up above him, or they just get loose off the corner and they lose all their momentum.
You're right, man. I mean, I hit on that in the broadcast. You veterans, as you get up towards the front, it takes a mistake to pass somebody. Somebody has to make a mistake in front of you, and Jason Day in that 52 machine, you're not going to leave very many mistakes out there on the table. And if there's not a mistake out there, they're going to have to move you. And that's not me kissing tail, nothing like that. It's just telling it how it is. You led the most laps tonight. You had the most dominant car, and you burnt it down at the end of the night. So congratulations, Jason, on the P1. You got any sponsors or shots you want to throw out there before we get you out of here?
Stuff to Crooked Line for putting on a great series, for you guys broadcast, and Tanner for always keeping this series going and doing a great job with it. Five Kings Motorsports, check them out on Facebook. Great team, great guys. McConey Setup Shop, MF Designs, Butt Kicker. But thanks to Butt Kicker for sponsoring the season too.
Man, Jason, I feel like you've had to go through that a couple times. You need to quit winning, man. Let me win some. I'm starting to get aggravated.
Got a race to do that.
Yeah, but I raced last night and got junked, but we won't talk about that. Anyways, Jason, for real, great win tonight, brother. Great win Sunday night, great win Monday night, and you capped it off with a win tonight. So that's Mr. 3-time now. So congratulations on that, Jason. And I have no doubt. I said this to everybody, but I have for sure. I'm putting 100% all my chips. I'm pushing them all in. We will be talking to you again. So congratulations on the win, Jason. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, Brandon Medler, there you have it, buddy. I mean, my oh my, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. That Hall of Fame in the Five Kings Discord is getting a little crowded with Jason Day. We may have to change that this week.
We'll have to see about that. Like he said, he wasn't expecting to run any more this week, but like you said, if he's winning that much, he's got to add to that column and kind of assert his dominance throughout the season. We're kind of picking up racing season in real life too, so we know he has a real life race car. So hopefully his track back up in Canada can run a little bit this year with their COVID situation or something like that. But I'd kind of be interesting to see if he can get some wins in real life with car.
I think so. If he translates whatever he's found on the sim, we've raced with Jason for a long time, and he was always you could always pencil him in for a win here and win there. But right now, if he's showing up at a racetrack, he is the clear cut favorite, and I mean that's gotta be an awesome feeling. I feel like I was like that during the summer months for a little bit, and then I kind of fell off. But racing is a lot to do about luck. But tonight, I don't think there was very much luck. I think Jason Day just had the top car.
Oh yeah, Jason Day was definitely the fastest car, definitely the most consistent all night. Brad Ringer had less and laps on him earlier in the race, but like Jason said, he got loose and he got right past him without any issues. So Jason Day was definitely the one to chase tonight. Ken Zines put up a really, really good fight, right on his bumper for the last 20 to 30 laps, and he didn't back down, but he was there all race. But like he said, Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis is a tough place to pass.
Yep. And before we sign off, we're going to Nashville Fairgrounds next week. I don't know if it's going to be me and Brandon in the booth or if it's going to be me and Zach in the booth. Just depends on if Brandon wants to have me again or if Zach gets his computer fixed. But guys, this is our first video on Five Kings Motorsports. I cannot tell you how happy I am to be a part of this team. I mean, I could go on and get all sentimental. That's how much it means to me about it. We started from nothing, and we're closing in on 1,000 likes right now. And any and every like on Facebook, I promise you, not only does it mean the world to me, it means the world to Brandon. It means the world to all the guys, and especially the core members. Our first 5 members, it is it's amazing, dude, just seeing that. So we thank y'all for that. Need to send a shout out to buttkicker.com. They not only sponsor Five Kings Motorsports, but they sponsor the series. And you can use promo code CLR for 20% off at buttkicker.com, or you can use promo code 5Kings. We got you covered either way, 20% off as well. McConey Setup Shop, thank them. I mean, I love Jeff in real life. I love Jeff in the sim. I love McConey Setup Shop, and I couldn't imagine doing business with anybody else. I mean, that's just the way it is. MF Racing Designs, thank you for all you do for Five Kings Motorsports. And then other than that, I mean, I think that's it. Unless I'm forgetting somebody, we'll close it out with Brandon with your final thoughts on the race tonight, buddy.
I mean, like I said, Jason Day had a car to beat all night. He's been winning in and out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It doesn't matter the day of the week. He's dominant in any car, trucks, modified, super late models. He's there. Ken Zines brought it close behind in second place. Zach Murphy had a strong win in third. Tommy Dunn overcame some earlier incidents and finished fifth. But like you said, Tanner, thank you all of our sponsors. Thank you, 5K Motorsports and Crooked Line Racing for putting this on. This is the first time we did this for a live show, and I think it went pretty all right. We had some hiccups here and there, things we got to work on, but biggest thing for us is make sure you give a like to 5Kings Motorsports, Crooked Line Racing, and all of our sponsors that you've seen on the screen throughout the whole broadcast. Make sure you give them a like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, everything like that. So that's all I've got, Tanner. Unless you got anything else, we're ready to sign off here.
I think we're about ready to wrap it up. If you're looking for racing, you want to do league racing, look us up on Facebook, Crooked Line Racing. If you want to follow a race team, give you somebody to root for, we race 7 nights a week, 5 Kings Motorsports. And other than that, I think it's been fun tonight. I've enjoyed this tonight, Brandon. I really have. It's been Tanner Marr and Brandon Medler in the booth, and we'll catch you next week.
Good night, everybody.